maybe the international community is not interested for Ukraine to win swiftly. Maybe this war is for some reason, is profitable for someone, for some political reason, or for maybe business reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah, I am less inclined to be that cynical and that
Good.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Listen, to my business, I go to the front a lot, so I can't. I can't be cynical. I gotta. But here's what I see: is I think that there's a lot of people in Washington and elsewhere who spent their lives talking about the Russian threat and the Soviet threat, and so there's this idea that Russia was supposed to be the second most powerful military in the world on February 23rd, 2022, right. And they haven't shown that. So there's a lot of people that are worried that we provoke Putin, he turns to nuclear weapons, that sort of thing. And I think that is what is stalling the flow of weapons, is this admiration, unfounded admiration for Putin and the Russian military. And, in my view, Putin depends on China. China has said, hey, look, Vlad, no nukes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, China said no nukes. Do you think that Vladimir Putin would not go nuclear?
Yeah, well, because it's one thing to be a pariah by the West, right? Right. And there'd be severe and horrible repercussions for him if that happened. But if you cut off China, if China says don't do this, because look, China doesn't want nuclear weapons on its border, right? And
I hope so.
Yeah. So I think that if you alienate the West and you alienate China, who do you got left? Iran.
Not enough.
No.
The president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, constantly emphasizes that Ukraine needs more weapons, that the long-anticipated counteroffensive is not going as fast as expected because of the delay in supplies. Well, my dear friend, last time I talked to him, Cormac Smith, former special advisor to the foreign minister of Ukraine, he's very sure that these delays are sent, I quote, from Russia with love. This is so-called delayers, the people who deliberately delay things. Do you think this is the case?
I used to call Russian propaganda conspiracy theories. Now I don't, after being in Ukraine, because you can see it. I have friends, obviously, that are fluent in Russian. They point out to me Russian propaganda on Russian TV channels, and I can see that echoed in the U.S. media. So I don't disagree with anything like that. That being said, there needs to be something happening because, again, tanks were promised in January. They got here a couple of weeks ago. That's like 10 months. And so what is the job of the U.S. Department of Defense if not to get weapons to a war zone quickly?
Okay, I take that as an answer. Thank you very much. But let me, if F-16s will be here like 6 months ago, do you think that will be a different situation we will be on? And the military map will be different. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I am. I have never served in the military. I've been to 5 war zones as a civilian. But I talked to a lot of generals, and I actually had dinner last time I was in Washington, D.C. with General Breedlove, who used to be the Supreme Commander for Europe. And he said, if you're a NATO commander and you were to undertake the kind of counteroffensive that Ukraine has undertaken, you would want air superiority, artillery superiority, and numbers superiority, or at least one.
Right, at least.
And Ukraine has none of them.
Exactly, that's what I meant, none of them.
Yeah, so I think F-16s, according to what I hear from General Breedlove, would have made a difference.
Yeah, I believe General Zaluzhny would agree. To what extent do you think the Russian Air Force, the Russian Federation exceeds Ukrainians?
Say that again?
Air Force of Ukraine. And if you compare the Air Force of Ukraine and Air Force of Russia.
I like Ukrainian drones.
Oh yeah. The whole world. This is the old revolution on the market, and this is something new to This is new to the art of war, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that Ukraine and the sophistication, the intelligence, and the ingenuity of Ukrainians has forever changed the face of warfare.
Yes.
And generals in other battles are going to be looking at what happened here for insight into how to conduct their wars. And So the Ukrainian drone offensive has been amazing. That being said, back to your question about the actual Air Force, I have never understood. Listen, I look at Wikipedia. That's where I get my information about the Air Force.
You do? Really? For some reason, Stephen,
I am not an F-16 pilot.
I thought you had an office in Capital. I mean, and now you're looking at Wikipedia. Jesus Christ!
General Breedlove was not an Air Force guy, so
was not.
Yeah. So but. I've actually wondered why given the disparity of the numbers between the Ukrainian Air Force and the Russian Air Force, I've wondered why the Russians have not been more aggressive with their air power. So clearly the Ukrainian Air Force is doing something right.